Godot 4. How are we doing with Godot 4 at the moment?
I'm confused about left and right still. Godot 4 Alpha 4 came out last week. We didn't have a live stream last week, so we couldn't talk about it. And it was a lot of little behind the scenes changes, performance changes, and some Vulkan bugs. Although we've not yet seen a fix of the transparency issue that Mikey's been getting.
Yep, and we even tried that on another one of my computers, and we were still getting the
Yep. Actually, before we go into that, I was about to mention this, but G Castro does ask, for those of us who aren't in the early access, when do we get access to that content? Last I heard, and Mikey's probably the best person to answer this, but he's been talking a lot, so I think it's my turn. Last I heard, we're still on track for, I think, 2 weeks as a rough estimate, to like open the course up for everyone else.
Well, once it's there for the early access people, then it gets basically released. Once it's complete, basically it gets released.
We didn't say like when's it out. So yeah, we're thinking the end of the month.
Yeah, end
but,
of the month.
You know, soon TM, like as soon as we can, while keeping the quality good. But yeah, Godot 4. A little cautionary tale. It is still very good. It's pretty stable considering, but it is in alpha. It is not ready for live projects. And one example of this is they renamed a resource type. They renamed texture to texture 2D to keep it, I'm guessing, to keep it consistent with everything else, which is fine, but it meant that the RPG wouldn't load. Because every single texture on every particle, on every mesh, on everything wasn't there. So I had to do some changes and re-import everything and check the code and do the rest of it. And now it works okay. But that was a good 20 minutes of just messing around to get, where we are now.
You definitely know when textures are missing in Blender because everything goes bright magenta.
Oh, no, it wasn't even doing that. It was just saying failed to load scene.
Yeah. Luckily,
I'd read the patch notes, so I knew that was coming from. But just be aware, Godot 4 is great. I recommend playing with it. It's looking really good. It crashes. It's got bugs guaranteed. Like they're telling you, it's not ready yet. We know about a bunch of bugs. So by all means, play with it. Don't use it yet for a live project. Don't convert an existing project to Godot 4 if you, A, don't have a backup of it, or B, care about being able to work with it. Because once you've converted it to Godot 4, you can't convert it back easily. Like it's a pain. That said, it's looking really good, and there's a lot of work being done on it. I've not been playing with it extensively this week for reasons we'll talk about in a moment. But yeah, it's looking lovely. I'm actually at the stage where I'm waiting for the attack, the modular weapons to come in, so I can start playing with that in Godot 4 and actually getting those looking really good. In the UI, which is going to be the really tricky bit, in the inventory system, which I'm not bothering to make until we have something to put in it, and in the real world, both being held and dropped on the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, Godot 4 is looking great. I also did some playing around with tile maps. I'm struggling with the tile map interface. I will say this now. It's very powerful. I mean, much more so than where it used to be. Terrains is the new auto tile. But the way it's laid out, I don't yet find intuitive. So I don't know if that's being changed or not, or if it's just going to be me getting used to it. I wanted to make a video on, and I probably still will, on Navigation Agent 2Ds, because we did a Navigation Agent 3D video. But getting the tile map to actually like flow easily, like I could just say, here's a level I made earlier, but that's not a very interesting video. Getting that to actually work is a little bit of a pain, and I'm taking some shortcuts and things. It's working, it looks okay, but the actual journey to get there, I'm finding a little bit